And before we move into our favorite segment, Ricky, I hope you don't take too much offense to this because I am trying to have fun. But with that last trade of J.R. Smith and Kyle Korver to the Sixers for Markelle Fultz and Winston Chandler. Dave and I came up with some trades in the vein of Ricky Widmer. I'll go first because yours is better. The Wizards trade John Wall and Bradley Beal to the Charlotte Hornets for Nick Batum and Bismack Biyombo. And the Wizards lose 13 wins, and the Hornets somehow only gain 5 for trading 2 bad contracts for 2 All-Stars.
Pretty terrible. But I got one to top that one for you. I've got the Orlando Magic trading Evan Fournier, Timothy Mozgov, and Jerian Grant for Bradley Beal and John Wall. It is plus 10 wins for the Magic. Only 10 wins for giving them a starting point guard and shooting guard, things they don't have.
Oh my God.
And only a minus 12 for the Wizards. I don't know how that offense runs. I don't know how they play basketball in Washington without them.
I was going to try to make a LeBron and KD trade, but they just re-signed, so I can't do it, so it doesn't matter. Well, hold on, let's do this.
I got one for you.
I was going to try to get Steph going to Charlotte.
I got one more.
God,
Steph goes to Chicago.
Okay, there you go. This is a prime Ricky trade.
For Rolo, Felicio, Holiday, and Campaign.
There it is. What's the win difference?
-5 for the Bulls, -13 for the Warriors.
So you just made both teams worse somehow.
I don't agree with them on the negative for the Bulls.
Not at all. They're definitely going to win more games with trading away and getting Steph Curry. Anyways, let's go to Wet Boys. We're talking about the soggiest of shooters, the dampest of dudes, the moistest of wings, the
wangs,
the watery of wings. I don't know what we're talking. We're talking about the guys who had fantastic weeks, either record-setting weeks, absolutely went off, had phenomenal performances. Shout out to Vince Carter. He would have been a Wet Boy. He got 25K.
Lifetime achievement, Wet Boy.
Yeah, he got 25K in his career this week, so he would have been a prime Wet Boy. If you got Kyle Lowry, who dropped 19, 17, and 12 on a triple-double, he would have been a prime Wet Boy. We like to look at the guys who had great weeks and give them an award. Last year, LeBron James was our king, and Ricky, you're helping his total for this year, huh?
No, I am, and I'm giving him back-to-back Wet Boys. I believe I got to look at the counter. He now has 2 on the year, tied with AD and Derrick Rose.
Jesus Christ!
He went off again. Like, it was funny because you guys, I was sick last week. You guys recorded it, and the day Wet Boys went up, there was someone in the comment section, and he scored 51. So he scored 51. You got to give it to LeBron again. He is doing what he's got to do. This team, started off 2-5. Now they're 8-2 since going 2-5 to start the year. LeBron, he's making that team go.
Yeah, LeBron is a guy that he's a great pat statter, but a big thing we do like to take in is not only are you statting your pats, but also are you winning games. And that's a prime example of that. The one guy that I think is getting totally screwed though, because he's not in this week, is Giannis Antetokounmpo, because he's been having absolutely phenomenal weeks that he's always an honorable mention, but he's just never doing enough apparently. Yep. Because Dave is like, we're gonna go with a complete wild card here, and we're gonna give it to
Nikola Vucevic.
Why?
Gucci Mane.
Why over Giannis?
Because he had a great week. He had a 28, 10, and 9 game, which is just fucking impressive. Overall on the week, he was averaging 24, 12, and 3, 59% from the field, 93% from the line. He is one of the best bigs in the NBA that nobody cares about because he's on the fucking Magic.
Now, if he's been this good,
he has no value to any team.
If he's been this good,
since
he has no value to a team, does that mean Draymond Green straight up will not work?
Let's put on the board straight up.
Can you put that in the trade machine, Ricky, and see if it will work real quick? But I mean, Vuce really, he moved you that much to give him a win. I know they just beat the Sixers.
He had,
or that was the Cavs just beat the Sixers. My bad.
They were 2-2 on the week. They beat the Lakers, and the Knicks lost to Toronto in a close one. That was a nail biter, 2-point game, and Denver got blown out. But no, he had a great week.
It worked straight up.
It's still straight up.
What's the win difference?
+5 for the Warriors, -10 for the Magic.
Wow. So he's a move.
Are they just taking
needle mover?
Are they just taking per?
Yeah,
I think so.
It's a per.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Draymond's per is a 12.6.
And what's Vuce?
And Vuce is a 25.9.
Yeah, that's why.
Gee.
Yeah, man, that's bad.
He's playing good.
Straight
Give
up.
the man credit.
No, he is for sure. But again, it's like your team isn't doing much. Like we talked about this last week in Pretenders Contenders. I don't think they're a playoff team. I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, he was fantastic in the first 18 games last year, too. This team was like...
Well, everybody was shooting from 3 in those first 18 games.
Yeah, they were like the Milwaukee Bucks this year. Like, they were insane at the start of the year last year. I think they're going to definitely fall off, though. But it's just my opinion.
He deserves it.
Shout out Vucevic. He got his first for this year and last year.
Yeah, this might be his first ever.
It's his first career wet boy.
Yep.
I'm going to go with a team that is...
A team?
Oh, sorry. I'm going to go with a player on a team that is only one standing. Ooh, you guys went the Warriors without me.
I know.
A team that is above them in the standings. This guy is absolutely carrying them to a great 9-9 record. They were 2-2 in the last 4 games, but this is not due to him because in one of those games he lost, he literally put up 60 points. Kemba Walker is my wet boy, averaging 36 points per game in the past 4 games, 7 assists, 2 steals, 54% from the field, 43% from 3. That game against Philadelphia, he was automatic. It was absolutely disgusting what he was doing. Jimmy Butler had a phenomenal performance in the later half in that OT session where he had the game-winning block, or at least game-saving block, on Kemba and then hit the game-winning shot on the right wing. But then, comes back, puts up 43 against Boston. They helps him get a win against Indiana, and then scores 25 in a loss against OKC, where they only lost by 5. Kemba Walker absolutely helps the team. That dude needs help in Charlotte too, and that's why I absolutely love that Bradley Beal idea because finally getting him a second star to play along would absolutely be fun to watch because they're still dealing with Nick Batum's bad contract, Marvin Williams' bad contract. They don't have that great of bigs out there. They have Bismack Biyombo's awful contract as well. So that's one guy that definitely needs some love. And shout out to Kemba Walker. If he's not going to be winning games, he can at least win a wet boy. And let's move on into our fantasy update. Boys, we have 78 points, which is more than we did last week. We are in 7th. One move we did make, Ricky, that you weren't here for, it was picking up Mitch Robinson, but someone dropped JaVale. So I picked up JaVale McGee.
Nice.
So JaVale is a guy that's now on our team.
Drop.
The biggest news, though, is Mike, he's no longer number 1.
Dethroned?
Trevor is now number 1. The big ballers.
Shout out to Trevor.
Big ballers are number 1 right now.
There we go. So shout out to Trevor. He's got 99
and
points.
And he's got Kemba on his team.
I wonder how that, yeah.
Nice. So
Mike fell all the way to 3rd.
Yeah, Mike's at 3rd. Philadelphia 0-76ers at 2. Grantham's at 4. LA LeBronzo at 5. What's Up Nation at 6. They are 3 points ahead of us. Kawhi So Serious at 8. Super Hippo at 9. 10, Atlanta Just Incredible. And then 11, we got Corrupt. 12, we got Trust the Process. And 13, we got Craft. Looking at where we stand, we are 5th in field goals made. That's due to Russ coming back. Russ has been pretty good this week. Field goal percentage, we are also at 5th. Free throw percentage, we are...
still booty.
9th? 9th out of 13. We're probably middle of the pack when it comes to 3-pointers made. We are 3rd in 3-point percentages. About 7th? 5th? 6th. I don't know how to count.
Simple math's real hard.
In rebounds.
Like it's a 1 to 13 scale, boys.
We are 5th in assists. We are 6th in steals. We are bottom. We're 5th to last in blocks. And we are what? 6th in points.
Are we going to work a deal out for Drummond? Because that free throw percentage is getting tanked, I think. I think it's him. I think he's the reason why we're so bad.
He's clearly the worst free throw shooter on our team.
Were we going to work a trade out for him?
I love the pick up of Vitwan, though. That was a nice move.
Thank you. I honestly forgot I added him.
Yeah.
And I don't even know who I dropped.
He's good at basketball.
So that's cool. I had him for some reason. He dropped like 30 in back-to-back games, and I just added him.
Yeah.
But I don't even remember who I dropped for him. But shout out to each one. We still could add Mitch Rob too, because he's been he had another like 8-game block performance. But I don't know if we should go and trade for Drummond or trade Drummond, because again, if he's been taking our free throw percentage, who is really going to want to take him?
Yeah,
someone who needs rebounds.
But we also kind of need rebounds. We're not leading the league in rebounding. Like we're like middle of the pack.
I mean,
so if we tank rebounds, are we just then going to tank? Like, if we're taking free throws right now, are we going to take rebounds?
Well, it depends. Well? I mean, if we move JaVale in and
because JaVale's got 6 a game, but I mean Drummond's got 16. It says here.
Yeah. Drummond's good at basketball, just not shooting it from the free throw line. Look, boys, we are like 4 weeks away from DeMarcus Cousins. Just saying.
Is it really that soon?
Yeah, they're hoping to be back after the Christmas games.
So maybe we move him after Boogie comes back?
Yeah,
maybe.
I think that's probably our best option.
I do want to give a shout out to the guy that we gave a shout out to last week as well.
I love you in the comments.
Bomani Matambo. I believe
Yes.
it's Matambo, not
you dropped the H.
Matambo.
That's what he told us.
Bonani Matambo. We got an Australia listener, so shout out Bonani. But he said, all right, let's get down to it. I'm assuming you're playing an 8-cat roto league. How many categories do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10. The only thing we added, I think, were 3-point percentage and then field goals made. So we had, because typically I think it's field goal percentage, 3-pointers made, and then rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, points. We added 3-point percentage and then field goals made, just to make that completely even. Taking an entire category mean you would have zero chance of winning a competitive league. Imagine I came out of an exam and told you that the last 12.5% of the paper, I closed my eyes and guessed the answers, yet somehow I expect to get the highest grade in the class.
Sounds like you went to college with me.
Well, he said ridiculous, right? Well, that's what you're saying when you say you're going to completely ignore free throw percentage. To win the league, you need to be competitive, top 3 or 4 in every category. If you were playing head-to-head, that would be a completely different story, which I can explain if you wish, but isn't relevant at the moment. I understand. If you're trying to win, if there's 10 categories, you're trying to win 9 of them and just getting rid of the one because free throws isn't going to kill you.
And this is not like baseball where literally the baseball is so broken where I could win every pitching category and just need to steal bases and could win the league.
Yeah, because
I was trying to do that last year too. I did that. I won Ks, and I think I won average for batters, but I only came in 3rd.
Here's a trade that maybe we can do in the future.
Well, hold on. I'm not even done with these comments.
You
boy. This is something that we need. We don't need your dumb trades.
Okay, I didn't know.
I love you. To win the league, you need to be competitive in every category, because this is like fantasy basketball for dummies.
He's legitimately
for us. If you're playing head-to-head, that would be a completely different story, but you cannot neglect a category in Roto. You can't do it in the Mike Singletary voice, so you're suggesting of taking free throw percentage. We're getting that out of here immediately. While PR15 is helpful, it's not the most effective way to determine a player value. Didn't think so. It's an easy number to digest for me. I manually use Z-scores, which is the most accurate way of determining value. If someone wants to Google Z-scores, I'd appreciate it, because I don't know what that is. And I'm stunned that ESPN doesn't use them. ESPN had almost all the pre-draft player rankings completely wrong, by the way. That's another story. It's good for me because I had my own rankings, so I was able to get players I could value, but I was bemusing how they could release such blank ratings / projections. Just a word I don't like using. It's the R word for people that I was bleeping. Anyway, the trick is to get players who don't hurt you in any categories. Think of it this way. You can compete in overall rebounds without Drummond, but you can't compete in free throw percentage with them. Equal, do not draft him. You can get rebounds elsewhere. You don't have to have the top rebounder to be competitive in rebounding. My bigs in the 10-team league I play every year are Davis, Whiteside, Vucevic, and Love, who Jared Allen is filling for really well. That is Love. Now, Whiteside is a bad free throw percent shooter, but here's the logic behind that. The rest of my team shoots over 80%, so it'll bring me down to an average for now. In the meantime, however, he's collecting a ton of boards, and him and AD are putting me so far ahead in blocks that I'll basically win that category by the trade deadline. At that point, I'll trade Whiteside to one of my teams with really low blocks for a useful player with good free throw percentage, and I'll maintain my lead at the blocks. But now for my free throw percentage will skyrocket to the top 2. Boom. So you got to get rid of Drummond unless you have a strategy like mine in place at time of drafting. So we didn't have that. We didn't actually make that strategy.
Let's be honest.
But
there were a few people at that draft where even the comments said should have went with some of the guys I was throwing out.
For sure. But my thing is with that, we didn't have that strategy in the draft at all. Our strategy was nothing. We picked the players we liked. But we kind of just came up with that strategy with the DeMarcus Cousins thing, where we ride out Drummond and then just try to push for that free throw percentage, because Boogie's most likely going to get us boards. So did you have an idea, at least with that free throw percentage in mind? What was the trade idea?
I said that maybe one that we could target, and this is if Justin wants to, trading for like a Marc Gasol, where Marc Gasol still averages about 9.8 rebounds a game, but he shoots 70% from the foul line. Like, he's still making 3.7 out of every 4.9 foul shots.
He's at 70 though?
Yeah, like 75%. Like, that's the target we should go. Still try to get a center or a big that can get rebounds so we don't tank it, but is a better free throw shooter than Drummond.
He's at 70 though, right?
It says
I want to just make sure that you have...
It says right here 75.3, and he's 3.7 per every 4.9 attempt.
Right now, Drummond is 54 for, and he's pretty much 3 of every 5.5 attempts. So yeah, definitely be an upgrade there. The only thing too with that is, with Justin, you look at the position rankings. You're trading Drummond, who's currently 16th in positions, compared to Marc Gasol, who's 5th. So
I'm not saying like Gasol's the guy, but maybe that's something.
Well, no, but I'm saying like
someone who still gets some rebounds.
I feel like to get that, like a guy like Marc Gasol, we would need to add more onto that.
Yeah.
Because again, right now, even from a ranking spot, Gasol is much higher than Drummond.
I mean, we could do that. Like, I'm not handicapped to anyone on this team. If we needed to trade anyone, I would.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not married to anyone on this team, I should say. Even Trae Young.
I'm pretty married to Gary Harris, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I know. I know you are.
I love him so much. Because he's a guy that's not going to hurt you. He's not going to he's not a guy. He's a guy that's pretty good. He's a guy, you look at him. He's like 44% from the field, 32% from 3, 79% from the line. I mean, Gary Harris is a good guy. So I think Boogie. I don't want to move Boogie either. So, I mean, who would you want to give up then? Who are you thinking? Like, if we need to sweeten that pot.
There's not one name.
Because I don't hate the
like
Marc Gasol idea.
I'm not saying like him, but I'm not like, if you were like, yeah, we got to give up this guy too, I wouldn't be like, no, let's not give up him.
What do you think is logical?
Depends on what you want to add. Like, are we doing 2 for 1 to where he would have to drop a player, or would we just do 2 for 2?
Well, let's see how bad his team is. Because maybe we could just take on a terrible player. JJ Barea? Is he terrible enough? He's just 18.
He's playing pretty low.
Reggie Jackson? Who's being dropped a lot in his league? Dwight Powell? Should we pick up Dwight Powell? He's doing nothing really. What are your thoughts on picking up Dwight Powell? We'll trade Dwight. So we'll get Marc Gasol and Dwight Powell for Drummond. And who's a guy that's not? What does he need exactly?
I don't know. I'm not looking at the standings.
Can you look at the standings?
I was looking at his team. Let's see. He is field goals.
Great content, by the way, guys.
Field goals made and field goal percentage. He's also duty at that as well.
So field goal percentage he needs.
Yes. Wait. Yeah.
Well, Drummond will help that. Brogdon?
I'm fine with giving up Brogdon. I was fine. I wanted to drop him weeks ago.
Brogdon's fantastic. That's the problem.
Fucking great.
Yeah.
Brogdon's not a guy that hurts you. I don't think he would take Brogdon.
We'll figure this out. We'll find someone. We'll find someone to add to it. But that's maybe somewhere we have to go with this.
Again, if you're in our league, hit us up with trades for Andre Drummond.
We're always listening.
What if we just drop him?
No.
Why not?
We got to get something for him.
Why? What if we just drop him? Let's just drop him. Let's just drop him right now. Come on. What's the worst that could happen?
Let's just drop our whole team then.
No, I'm not going to do that. We should just drop him. Let's just drop him.
Drop Russ too.
No, we're not going to drop Russ.
Why are you crying
right now, Drummond's not helping us.
We got to get something for him though.
Why? Let's just...
This is really helping his sell.
How about
right
this?
Now.
How about this? We pick up Isaiah Thomas. We just drop Andre Drummond straight up. Thoughts?
Isaiah Thomas will help with free throw percentage.
Yeah, he's not going to hurt us in any way because he's not even playing.
Exactly.
So I think that's a good idea. We're now officially dropping Andre Drummond for Isaiah Thomas. Give us trade ideas. If you are in our league, hit me up on Twitter, @MostValuablePod. Slide into the DMs. We are ready to make a deal for Andre Drummond. We will take your garbage. We will take your Trae Young equivalents. We will take your Dennis Smith Jr.'s. We will take your Frank Nikitalinas or Ntilikina's. Hit us up, dudes. Like our team is middle of the pack. We're good, but not great. That's probably this podcast slogan as well. So if you have any trade ideas, throw them down in the comments.
Carmelo Anthony.
We'll
drop him for Carmelo.
Is he available?
I'm sure he is.
I mean, has Drummond ever been on an Olympic team?
Yeah. I've never seen Drummond in a hoodie.
I've never seen him in a hoodie either. So, hoodie Melo.
Can't hurt.
He can't hurt. He's not playing. So, we're going to drop Andre Drummond for Carmelo Anthony. That's the deal.